Hi guys, my name is Darren and welcome to another episode of Tableau with Darren and Daniel. Sadly today Daniel won't be here with us, but I will definitely try to deliver an equally exciting tutorial for you guys. So last lesson we covered the basics of Tableau. We covered things like what are marks, dimensions and measures. We covered how to make a very simple bar chart and how to sort it as well, and how to transpose it and sort a view for it. This lesson, we're going to talk more about the different types of visualizations. Today, we are going to focus on three specific types. Number one, a dual axis chart, a lollipop chart, and a shared axis chart. Okay, so let's check Tableau out. So this here we have is a shared axis chart. Essentially, what a shared axis chart does is it allows you to compare categories side by side under a larger category. So if you take a look at this data set, this is the Superstore data set in the Tableau that is free for anyone that downloads Tableau. Imagine you are a business analyst and your boss wants you to determine which region should we push consumer products and which region should we push corporate products. This is where the shared axis chart will come in. A shared axis chart is made out of three views. Firstly, we have the measure. Next, we have two categories side by side. What this tells Tableau is that we will have consumer, we have segment on one, this is segment here, and we will also have region on the other. So when you look at the bars here, it really becomes the amount of profit for the consumer segment in this particular region. So let's take a look at how do we build a shared axis chart. Okay, so firstly we need the measures. So in this case we are using profit. Next, we need segment. So now we have a very simple horizontal bar chart. Lastly, we want to bring in region. Okay, so when you drag a region in, we have it. You can compare the various regions side by side. Now, what if your CEO tells you, hey, I want to know which product is the best in which region? Now, we can look at this chart and we can roughly compare central here, and central here. But let's try something else. We switch the positions of segment and region in our row column. We switch segment and region here. So all we have to do is to drag region over to the left hand side of segment. And there we have it. Essentially what you are doing is you're switching region and segment. So now we can look at central region, consumer, corporate and home office, which one is the most profitable. Another thing to take note of is you can always transpose this using this button. What it will do is that it will give you a vertical bar chart, which may or may not be what you want. So that's it for the shared axis chart. To recap, what a shared axis chart needs is just a measure against two categories or dimensions in Tableau. Remember, you can always switch the dimensions around to get different forms of comparison. Next, we move on to the lollipop chart. This is what a lollipop chart looks like. Essentially, lollipop chart is simply just two bar charts, or rather it simply represents a bar chart worth of information. However, the good thing about lollipop chart is that it adds a little bit of novelty while not making it more complex. So what we have here is really a bar and a circle at the top of it. So how do we make a lollipop chart? So imagine you have an empty blank sheet. First thing you do obviously is to bring in the measures, in this case profit as well. Now that we have got profit here, what we want to do is bring in profit again. So we have two measures inside our chart building tool. Next thing, on rows we can bring in country. Let's bring in state. Okay, so this is rather confusing and we're not sure what is it. So let's make it a vertical bar chart first. Next thing, this is the important part, the secret sauce to making a lollipop chart. You need to click on profit and click on dual axis. What this does is that it forces all the points to be on the same axis. Okay, so now you notice that we have two profit axes that are exactly the same. So since one of them is redundant, we will remove it. Next thing we'll do now is we have two here, right? One of it needs to be converted into bars. So let's convert one of them. Okay, so if you look really closely, you can tell that there are circles here and then there are bars. Okay, so simply go to the other profit, because now we're working on this profit. Go to the other one, click it here, and color the circle differently. Let's try black. Yes. Oh, this is not really a static color. Let's try this. Okay. So now I move to circle and click orange. Now. Okay, there we have it. So if you notice, the lines aren't exactly synchronized. So what we can do is we can try and synchronize the axis here. Right click on the header and synchronize axis. So now it becomes synchronized, and another thing we can do is to enlarge the circles while reducing the size of the bars. So look at the bar. You want to make the stick thinner. Well, perhaps we can make the circle slightly bigger. Yeah. Take note that you don't want to detract. You don't want to have your aesthetics detract from the actual concept of what your data is trying to bring through. Lastly, remember to sort the bar chart. There we have it. A chart that delivers the same amount of information as a bar chart, but is slightly more aesthetic while not making the whole thing too complex. So it's something you can consider if you have too many bar charts in your graphs, in your presentation, or you find bar charts are starting to get a bit boring. Lastly, we will talk about the dual axis charts. Dual axis charts are essentially similar to what we covered just now, two measures against a single dimension. However, this time the measures are different. In this case, I've plotted sum of sales and sum of profit against each segment of goods I sell. So how do we do it? First thing first, let's bring over our dimension. Next, we need two measures in the rows. So we bring over profit and sales. So it gives us two separate graphs, which is not what we want. What we want is one graph with two data points plotted on it. So we go to synchronize axis. Dual axis first. Okay. So one thing to know is that when I put dual axis, you need to synchronize the axis here, because over on the left hand side, 140,000 is my highest, while it's compared to 1.2 million. This can be very misleading for viewers. So you right click, synchronize axis. There we have it. So now they are plotted on the same matrix as compared to the right hand side. However, this is not really very intuitive to understand what exactly it means. Okay, so we'll do one more thing to really make sure that it has carry the impact that we want it to. We convert both to bars here and here. In this case, we have my sales covering the profits, hiding it and defeating the purpose of the graph. In order to solve this problem, simply rearrange the top part, switch sales and profit. So now my sales is at the back while profit is at the front. Something else you can do is to reduce the width of profit. This is done by going to profit and reducing the size. And there you have it. Remember to remove redundant axes as well. Yep, this isn't really what I want, so I prefer this. Yes. So now we can really see at a glance the differences across the three product segments between profit and sales. This can give us a rough idea of the cost of each product sold. Okay, so that's it for today's Tableau tutorial. I hope you guys learned something. And if you didn't, please drop a message on what you think is a good idea I can look at. I'll definitely do my best. Thank you.